show. It's your girl, your host with the most, Camille McLean. And so we got a great show for y'all today, so keep watching. So for those of you who've not watched The Real Take Show before and want to get a quick take, the purpose of The Real Take Show is to showcase different artists and creatives in the city who are very well established and have come up and have become successful. And we just want to give their time to shine and all that. So stay watching. And as a part of the Real Take Show tradition, I like to, incorporate some quotes and some facts about different artists and moguls that we look up to. And so the person today is none other than Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs. Diddy, pretty much. So a little quote by Diddy, and this one really resonates with the Real Take Show, is that he said, "My mind is always racing and always working, and it's a gift and a curse," which is true. And a little fact about Diddy, actually, what I didn't know personally. So Diddy did the switch from P. Diddy to just Diddy in 2005, and it was in part to help the fans cheer him on. So he felt that the P was coming in between me and my fans. He said this when he was on the Katie Couric show, I believe, and he said he wanted to simplify it. So he said, all right, you know what? We're doing concerts now. Half the crowd is saying P. Diddy, the crowd chanting Diddy. Now that's everybody, everybody say Diddy, because the P, if I was at a Diddy concert, I'd be saying Diddy, okay? Let's just be serious. So I can see where he's coming from. So now he's called Diddy. It's on his Instagram, so shout out. I was going to say P. Diddy. Shout out Diddy. So let's just get into the juice. Shout out Tupac. So to my right, aka your left, we have a very special guest on the show. He goes by the name of Havana, Mr. Orville Havana Green. Okay?
The W, Waze, that's the artist name.
That's the artist name.
Yeah.
He's kind of going through the magazines. Dude, you gotta focus. Come on,
Yeah,
you're on the Real Take Show. Okay?
I'm
We need
focused.
to get your take.
All right, I'm very focused.
You're very focused?
Yeah.
You look focused. I see you're branding yourself here with the baby Tuff. We're going to talk about that actually a little bit. So let's just jump right into this interview.
Yeah.
First of all, how you doing?
Doing well. Can't complain.
Doing well, doctor. Doing well.
Yeah, sleeping okay. Kids growing. That's all I can ask for.
That's all you can ask for? So, because you're an entrepreneur, okay? You do a lot of different musical things in the city. So can you kind of just break down what it is that you do for us? You're an entrepreneur.
Make it quick and sweet. Basically, I own Alberta's largest urban music label.
Okay.
And what that says, it's basically the figurehead for all the other pieces that we have. So we do Tough Urban, the magazine piece online. Mm-hmm. We do Baby Tough. We do Words. We do Tuffhouse. It's all those a part of the clothing brand. Right. We also do wrestling, bodybuilding, MMA. We're all over the damn place, right? Mm-hmm. So Tuffhouse itself as a brand is basically, to keep inspiring, right? We have the video side to it that we are now super billing, and we do international events, meaning whether it's concerts, just artist development, and the studio, Tough House Studio. Basically, that's what we sit on, right? So that's just a little bit.
Little rundown.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is this, because everyone has their own come up. You had to start somewhere. So how did you start Tough House, and when did you start Tough House?
We started Tough House in 1995. We started it. I was 14 years old, and we actually started it in Duggan, it was my mama's basement, because the reason why we created it, because first we didn't we were talking about different name pieces, right? And the names didn't come, and then later on it kind of clicked in, my mom runs a Tough House, and so based on that and where we're coming from, for instance, because it was dominantly immigrants anyway within in the neighborhood, and my partners. We were just discussing different pieces, because we used to call Columbia a house, to get CDs like from the Nas and the Wu Tang and all that, and we're like, how come we don't have our own? Right? We're bringing like this culture here, but yet still nothing's coming out of it. So, from a young man perspective, I seen like that there was the opportunity to grow and to create something. So we created the label like a tuffhouse, and we just been going at it ever since.
Going at it ever since.
Yeah.
So tell me about projects that you've done and different collaborations.
As in album pieces, or just we've done so much of like the first album that we dropped was called Way Street, which is this guy here. That was just kind of, I was learning how to rap because I'm a singer more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
So we're putting the verbal plays together, and then Reason, Letters, and Paper. Reason's album really took us to a whole different level, because here you have a young kid from our neighborhood. He was a Caucasian kid, but he sounded like a fusion between reggae and salsa. Ooh. So a lot of people didn't know what he was. They thought he was a female at first, right? And so with his the rhyming and like the production that we did, we took it in a whole different level. We got played all over the goddamn country.
Yeah.
And and so that helped that. Then we started collaborating with major artists. We did tracks with Peter Jackson. He's out east. We did the song with actually with Rick Ross, because he was giving us the raw shout outs and stuff like that. We did Mr. Killer, his name is so there's so much cast that we work with. Mm-hmm. It's endless,
Endless. So tell us about any upcoming projects that you're going to be working on. Can you give us a little bit of a sneak peek into that, or?
Yeah, I announced a project last year. There's actually two, because we the Pangea project. Basically, it's the biggest project that I'm doing. But then we announced I wanted to drop a quick album. It was a mixtape album, and it was called Alberta, right? It's
say it again.
Alberta. So basically, because although we are here in Alberta, people always try to shit on us. You know what I mean? So Alberta is basically unification of look, you're doing your thing, we're doing ours, but we're here together, right? So, it was supposed to be before Christmas, and then I got a call from Vancouver, and it was a couple guys that I know. They're a part of Argentinian band, right? And they were going down to Mexico to record the album, and they always want my input on it. So so Buddy's yeah, we love that name, and I was okay, and I was all right, cool, I love the name too. It's a wordplay, right? And so it taken a note that it's bigger than what I thought it was going to be, so we had to push it back. So Alberta comes out within the next month and a half from now, right? And then the Pangea project comes out this summer. So the videos are shot. We're supposed to be in Mexico to shoot another video with my artist down there, Smoke. So we gotta figure it all out.
It's all over the globe, it looks like.
Just expanding. The company have foothold in Brazil, Mexico, England, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, the States. We're all over the damn place. But in order for us to do what I believe that we can do, it got to be stealth. You know what I'm saying? And just move in silent. What they say, rude boys move in silent. So, we don't talk too much. We just do business.
Exactly. Don't talk, just do it.
Exactly.
Just do it. And so, let's just go into the future a little bit here. What are your plans and visions for the future of Tuffhouse?
Man, straight out of the gate, we got, 2 back-to-back show coming up in February, 1 in March, and just a whole lot more. So the future for us, it's one of the bigger things is my son.
Your son?
Yeah, because like he's my biggest project first and foremost, right? Because like how
you created him, so
exactly, right? So I
Let's
have
start
to
with that.
yeah. So I have to properly make sure that like is understanding is widely appealed because like at some point he's gonna have to take his own business push. You know what I mean? And I want him to understand that we're here to guide him on that, right? So the future stands with them, right? Like I'm just basically whether I have more kids or my partner's kids or just the young artists like an entrepreneur that's coming into business.
Right.
Like to me, I look at myself as I'm a knight.
You're right.
Right? Like the younger artists, the younger generation, like the younger kids, they're the kings and queen. Right? A knight's job is to protect them and guide them until they reach that, the status because they can change the world. Like so with us, that's how we live it every day. You know what I mean? We come in, we work, and we just make sure that not just within Canada that we try to reach and build, but all the other places we try to build with the future, and just make sure that we own things because that is the biggest thing, and that is one of the biggest failure that we had. Our culture is the number one selling culture,
Yeah.
but 99.9% of the things we do not own. So we own things. So in that way, we can influence.
We own these things. We don't let these things
Own us on that side, but we also make sure we control it. Like for instance, like coming up as a youngster, for instance, you had, like a lot of the head CEOs and stuff like that, controlling their market. But the guys that sit on top of Universal, for instance, is not from the culture. He doesn't give a shit about the culture.
It's funny
So
how
they
that
milk
works
the culture,
too.
right? And this is what I mean. Once we start owning it, yeah, there will always be the nonsense that they bring at you. But if you own it and you hold it properly, you can't be defeated. That's why, like, say for instance, you look at a Jigga Man. You know what I mean?
Jay-Z.
Smart business comes forward, but the difference is he's coming from the culture.
Exactly.
So once you're rooted in it, they can't beat you in your own footprint.
Exactly, like even not just Jay-Z, but like who he came up with it.
Exactly.
Like Biggs and Dave and Dash, they were all from the
exactly,
streets,
exactly.
right? So they were masterminds. They came together and they built this empire. And once they branched out into music, it was Rockaware, it was the vodka and all that stuff.
Exactly,
right?
Same thing with Puff. Like one of the first to do it was Master P. You know what I mean? And the guy that nobody give props to was Little J, right? Like Little J, he's still the king of the whole South.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Scarface still give nothing but love to him, right? And you know what I mean? And because what it is again, you own yours. You help to control, make sure that it's respected, but differently from that, you make sure that the artists understand their wealth, and they understand where they're going with it, how they can achieve it, but also you give back to the community because that's lacking to a lot of degree.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Where it's people, I see it all the time. Guys get say $100,000, and that $100,000 go to nonsense. They don't know how to invest it. They don't know how to basically spend it. They don't know, people are scared to say, hey, you're my partner. I'm going to give you $10,000 to start a business. You know what I'm saying? So it's about doing that and helping to influence the community on that piece.
Exactly, and that's a really good answer. So last question, okay?
Yeah.
Last one. Describe your journey in one word.
A motherfucker.
Wait, isn't that 2 words?
I
Wait,
could say
motherfuckers, is it 1 word or 2 words?
It all depends on how you use it. Heck yeah.
I mean, okay, all right, we'll take it on the Real Take Show, okay? Because we take it on the Real Take Show.
Yeah.
We're going to take it, okay? We'll take your answer.
That's it.
So wait, why motherfucker?
Because it's been up, down, sideways. You know what I mean? Sometimes you go broke, but you can't show anybody that you go broke, and because you have so much people relying on you. So But when you do good business with people, and again, like, I mean, most people don't know that, like, I've gone broke. You know what I'm saying? But my partners that I've stand with and have always stand with me, I'll go to them and say, hey, I need a grant. I'm a partner, don't question it, say, okay, get me back when the moment's solid. You know what I mean? I bring him back, I bring him back $2,000. Done.
Flip it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? But having the people around you that help you, and even if you don't see them for years, but you still know that's your solid core.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Like my partner
Right.
JP, he's in Montreal, and he's been out in Montreal for 12 years. I fly out there, I just go go kick it with them. We roll, we do all these crazy things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the relationship value. You know what I mean? And that's what makes what we have so great. Building relationship and
being able to keep them. I think that's the
exactly.
hardest too. Being able to establishing it is one thing, but being able to keep it.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
Right.
But cats understand, whether you ding a guy once a week or once a month, you know what I mean? Then you make everybody understand. Because differently from Tuffhouse, we're Duggan cats. You know what I mean? Up here in Duggan is a family. You know what I mean? We have our Christmas fiesta, all of us together,
Yeah.
and no matter what it is, and to see guys that's come from nothing to now millionaire property owner guy, you know what I mean, all over the damn place. It's like when we're coming up, everybody counted us out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have footage of cops yelling at us and driving around, flashing their camera in our neighborhood continuously. And this is here. You know what I mean? And because we lived in government housing, now my partners have houses, as I say, everywhere. You know what I mean? Money all over the damn place. Because we realize that we have to work together and keep that, connected properly,
Okay.
So it's blessed.
All right, so Havana, Orville. You have so many names. I never know what to call you half the time. So this is the part of the Real Take Show where we want to get your take on certain videos, okay? Because there's a TV behind me, so
Yeah.
we're gonna watch a little segment,
Okay.
and then we're just gonna give our take on
What
we
it
just
is?
watched.
Okay.
Yes, I think you'll like this one a lot.
You were starting from scratch, from the beginning of your career, and trying to build the career that you have today. Where would you begin?
Well, the real answer, and not the, I guess, successful role model entrepreneur answer, or like the answer you get from your teachers, is I would probably be scared to death. This generation is probably one of the most empowered generations of our, ever. The most entrepreneurial generation. And I would say this generation is also the generation who, like the world in a sense, has kind of turned its back on because it's not protecting their future, whether it's from a world point of view, or from a personal point of view, or even from a point of view of what their future is going to be like, whether it's global warming or whether it's even how they're going to have a job or a career. So that at first would scare me. Then number two, it would scare me and make me angry that it was like that for me. And number two would be that, I also would be kind of intimidated by the competition, because everybody's trying to be the next Steve Jobs, the next Martin Scorsese, the next Puff Daddy, the next Jay-Z, or so on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so there's so much competition. Like when I started, there was nobody really trying to do what I was doing. And so I think that it's very important to know the reality. So my advice to future entrepreneurs is to always know the reality. Know what you're getting yourself into. Know how hard it's going to be, how competitive it's going to be. But even with that being said, I think there's more chances today than ever to get seen and heard, to get noticed. And I think that we're in a time where the people that really, really work hard and really, really believe in themselves and really, really don't give up on their dreams, no matter how many times they fall down, are the ones that's going to be successful.
And you got to figure out what that dream is,
Yeah,
right? What you're
and one of the most important things is that day. I would say my advice is for people to kind of ramp it up, because a lot of times when you're young and you in your 20s or something, you like, I don't really know what I want to do. But we live in a different world. It's important for you to know what you want to do for the future of your family. So it's a scary thing to make that decision. This is what I want to do. But the sooner you make that decision, I think the better it'll be for your life, you know, and a better chance of success you'll have, because you'll have more time to mess up.
Right.
You have more time to fall down.
And if you were coming up today, would you kind of go the unpaid internship route? You know, would you be willing to do that again?
Yeah, I mean, if I was coming today, I would do whatever it would take for me to get to the information. I think that no matter what, it could have been in the times of Jesus, before Jesus, caveman times. It was about being around the information. Back in caveman times, it was about who knows how to make a fire, because my ass is cold. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, you know, who really knows who is successful in this day and age and how they are successful. So I think that our educational system needs to be fixed in a sense, because you know, a degree means something to me, but experience kind of means more, and a point of view of where people want to go kind of mean more than somebody saying I have a master's from Harvard or whatever. No, I need to know, are you ready to go to war with me?
Right.
That's what I need to know.
And what do you look for when you're hiring people other than that, you know, ready to go to war? What are the other kind of criteria?
Somebody that is not intimidated by me, not intimidated by the situation, not intimidated by life. They understand, they deal with reality, they know that things are hard, and they're not doing it just as a job, they're doing it as a part of their life. And they're also doing it for a higher purpose, just bigger than them. They really want to make whatever they're involved in affect people in a positive way. And then they also have the passion to handle what it's going to take to get the job done, because nothing's going to be easy, especially now. And it's going to be a lot of pain involved, but you know, at the end of the day, there's also a lot of celebration when you accomplish your goals.
Indeed. And speaking of celebration, you know, Ciroc De Leon, you got a lot on your plate in terms of celebratory ventures, but you know, what's next for you?
You know, right now my focus is Revolt and making it the number one most trusted, most credible worldwide brand in music, and to get Revolt to be the quintessential definition of real time. I think that's the future.
Shout out Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, whatever he calls himself now. So Diddy's an entrepreneur, as are you. So when you first started tuffhouse, like, was there something about being an entrepreneur that scared you? Like, what were you afraid of, and how did you tackle those fears?
I was shit scared.
Yeah.
Right, like, but again, like, because nothing represented us, and when I say us, I mean Central America, like the influence of Central America, South America, within where we are, right? Because like we wanted to introduce our music with what we're growing on into it. So, but I was scared because there was no output. But I remember as a youngster, I remember I had to sing the Free Willy song, right? And like it was like for all these nuns and like and high priests and stuff, like they're all from Florida when they came back home, and we were shit scared. I didn't really think I would know the words and all that.
Yeah.
But we did it, and it was like it was a place called Halfway Tree, right? And it was fantastic, right? So that set it in my head where any journey that you go on, you're gonna, like, at first, because you don't know what's out there, and especially when we're so young, we had no clue what it is. So we just started marketing that, taking me hand to hand. My neighbor would back me, and we just went from that. And, you know, it was one of the first things. I didn't even know how to get the hell online. this was dial-up time, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Era.
like so, but I was very, very scared. And again, I had a couple of my other guys with me, like my man Renzel Washington, aka DJ Reno.
Yeah.
That's the neighbor right there, right? So we all came up as little guys together, and we're like, okay, well, we have to just keep pushing, you know what I mean? But with me, because like I always took the moment to write things down, so so things would come into my head, and I would hold it, and then I would write it down, whether it's just a quick doodle, or but I wrote down, what I wanted to achieve within the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And and so basically from there on, I got because coming from, again, my country is beautiful, but it was like war torn. You know what I'm saying? People dying, all that stuff. You go to school with bullets flying over your head. You know what I'm saying? And people see a lot of beautiful things about it, but don't understand the reality of war. Again, I'm from Reaganomics. That's the era that I was born in, right? So just understand. But so us doing the music piece and doing the art and just coming from it, like I had no clue what the hell a business number was.
Yeah.
Right? Like I had to go sit in a classroom, I remember, at Grand Mac. They're like, oh, come, it's a night. We have to go there and sit, and like these people talking like I'm a little kid. Like I don't know what's what. You know what I mean?
This is the thing though. Like in order to get to a certain place, there's certain things that you have to do in order to get to where you want to be, right?
Exactly.
I don't think the youth really they don't really understand that if you want something, you have to put in the work for it. It just doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, and
right?
that was the whole point, right? Like because like again, it's like what I told my son, like when although I was little, like after I moved from Jungle to Riverton, I would have to get up at 5 o'clock every morning to tend to my uncle and my auntie's livestock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the discipline, I had to, no matter how much I hated, I had to gain discipline. And so within the business and creating new business and hiring people and teaching people and guys that's coming in, because again, you always have people that say, hey, I want to do this, and then their heart's not in it. I like to call them like guys that like see through the glass and think what you're doing they can do, and basically when they're actually at the table they can produce it, right? And so those guys quiver, you know what I'm saying? And but pushing through it and creating different pieces and saying, okay, you take care of that, you take care of that, and if you screw up, I'm gonna come and help you, and bill you. But at the same time, because you're scared of failure, you have to work extra harder. You have to work even when others are out partying. You know what I mean? Like when we were doing the promotional pieces, I remember it was minus 25, and like guys was like, no, I'm gonna go to the bar. Like this is when we got a bit older. Like I had to take my ass and do basically over 1,000 car. The reason why I did that is because like no matter what, I had to do the promo, and we're putting money in it. What people don't understand is, as an entrepreneur, it's like you're bankrolling yourself. You're bankrolling the next guys that's coming. You're bankrolling your family. Like if they are coming from nothing and they have nothing.
Exactly.
So if you're a failure, you have a bigger piece to drop on if you do not prepare and plan your steps properly. And so that's what I've learned, and what helped to fuel me continuously. Even when I'm losing, I have to figure out, for instance, why I'm losing, and then get back at it and win back what I've lost.
Wow.
And again, that's the number games.
From an OG's perspective, right?
Yeah, it's just the way that it goes.
That's the way it goes, and You know, we appreciate you coming on the show. It's always nice to get your take, and you've definitely overcome a lot throughout your journey, and you're definitely you're the tough man. The tough man.
The tough man.
Tough man.
I guess you can call me that too.
Listen, you gotta make a brand called Tough Women. You gotta cater to the girls.
We got the baby tough coming, but I gotta talk to the boss about that. That's the baby tough females.
We put up more shit than you guys.
Exactly. We got the sister coming. She got her blood drop. You know, she's down like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I expect to see Tough Woman 2018. Okay, so you know.
Talk to the boss.
You can't leave us out like that.
No, I'm not leaving you all out at all. Talk to the boss. I'm not the boss on the baby tough piece. That guy's the boss, man.
He's on his phone right now. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he's talking to his partners elsewhere. Like he got all kind of little partners, you know.
Okay, but anyways, you know what? It was good talking to you. It was dope to get your take, and we can't wait to see what you got coming in the future. And if you like this video, subscribe down below.
Yeah.